This is the first of 100 wells we're gonna build in this video. Oh, water! Oh, crap!
You just witnessed a small village in Kenya get access to unlimited clean drinking water in less than a second.
That's crazy!
Alright, welcome to the channel, Nature's Reality 360, where we bring you the reality of nature. Today is Thursday, November 9th, and we're talking about cancellations. Alright, we got some people getting canceled, some birds getting canceled, but it's all pretty much for the same reason, and we're going to wrap that up by the end, so let's jump right into it, okay? First, we're talking about Mr. Beast. Now, you may have heard of Mr. Beast. He's like the biggest independent YouTuber on the planet, I think, at this point. One of them, for sure. He's got 208 million subscribers on his main YouTube channel. You see here, Mr. Beast. He also has other channels, Beast Philanthropy, Mr. Beast Gaming, Beast Reacts. He does reaction channels. He does gaming on Twitch and stuff, I believe. And now, since he's amassed so much success, he does philanthropy. And you'll see here, he does a lot of game show stuff. He did like a whole replica of Willy Wonka's chocolate factory and gave out golden tickets. He'll do stuff like just have the pizza guy show up and give him a $100,000 tip. He did one where he rented out a warehouse, made 100 cubicles, and got a person every age, like one person for each age, 1 to 100. And it was like a 10 by 10 cubicle with a bed in it, and whoever could stay in there the longest won like 100 grand or whatever it was. You see here, $1 versus $100 million house. All that kind of stuff. You may see channels like this. He's kind of the guy that started channels like this, and he's huge. And he's gotten into a lot of philanthropy work, like I said, and if you've seen the beginning of the video, he actually is taking it worldwide now. He went over to Africa, and he's building a bunch of wells in Africa and saving all these villagers from having to walk literally miles and up mountains and treacherous paths just to get water before school and stuff. If you watch the whole video, you'll see more about that. But it's a great thing, right? Well, not everybody thinks so. Apparently, it's brought some criticism, some predicted criticism. He knew this was going to happen, so I guess it's happened to him before. So who's criticizing Mr. Beast about saving a bunch of people in Africa from dehydration? Well, if you see here, CNN has a headline, Mr. Beast builds 100 wells in Africa, attracting praise and some criticism, right? Yahoo News says Mr. Beast shamed the Kenyan government after building 100 wells. And then we have some more personal people like this Taylor Lorenz character. Okay, so this is the tweet Mr. Beast wrote. I already know I'm going to get canceled because I uploaded a video helping people, and to be 100% clear, I don't care. I'm always going to use my channel to help people and try to inspire my audience. That's a great thing. I totally support that. Some people don't. This TaylorLorenz.substack.com. She says, no one is canceling you for helping people. You've received extremely light criticism in the past for the way you've monetized kindness content that some vulnerable people found to be exploitative. Okay, so monetizing kindness. So she's mad that he's using the money that he makes on his very successful YouTube channel to help others. What's the problem? I don't see a problem with that, do you? Well, apparently people are mad about it, but this is the real thing, and that's going to bring us into our next topic. They're mad because he's white, and believe me when I tell you, that's why they're mad. Check this out. I'm going to play a clip, and it's going to kind of show the response that these types are given to Mr. Beast. So we're going to click on this video real quick. So let's take a look at what this guy has to say, all right? Check this out.
YouTuber in the world, Mr. Beast, just posted a video of him digging 100 wells in Africa. And I got to say, as an African myself, I'm not impressed because I am sick and tired of watching these palm-colored influencers using African villages as a stage for their white savior propaganda. Issues like poverty, disease, and bad drinking water are not exclusive to African regions. Flint, Michigan is a good example of an American city that got all three of those things. But Mr. Beast made the intentional choice to go to an African village to make a big show of his great humanitarianism. Why? Because Western society is so conditioned to thinking of the entire continent of Africa as being beneath them that they will see no problem with people like Mr. Beast exploiting the images of children for financial gain and for an ego boost. And I know in his heart he thinks he's doing the right thing, but with as big of a platform as he has, he's actually propagating imagery that says Western society is higher, African society is lower, and they need our help. And if history has told us anything, we know for a fact that your help doesn't.
All right, that's enough of that. So you see where the sentiment is. He's mad that Mr. Beast is helping a bunch of people in Africa, and he says Mr. Beast is doing it for the money. But we know that's not true because Mr. Beast said at the end of the video, this guy must not have watched the video. At the end of the video, Mr. Beast says he's donating all the money, all the profit he makes off of that video that now has over 75 million views. That's a lot of money. Okay, he's going to donate it all to those same villages in Africa. And he's not lying, because if you go to Mr. Beast's YouTube channel, his newest video that he put out today is we gave solar power to a village in Africa. So he's already doing more to help the people in Africa. And I guess he better be ready for more people like this getting mad at him for giving solar energy to the people in Africa now. The solar energy that these people love so much, by the way. But I think if you really pay attention to what that guy was saying, there's another underlying issue here, right? It seems like they're more mad that Mr. Beast is a white guy. That's what it is, right? If Mr. Beast was a black guy, do you think they would be saying any of this stuff? Let's be honest, okay? And that brings us to racist birds, all right? So apparently the American Ornithological Society, they're in charge of naming birds, doing conservation work. They're not a government agency. They are a nonprofit, okay? They do get grant money. They got over 100 grand in grants last year, and they get money every year in grants, but not that much, okay? They are a nonprofit. They're not government affiliated, but they do work hand in hand with government agencies like Fish and Wildlife, like the North American Bird Conservation Initiative. And so apparently the government gives them a lot of say in this stuff. And what they spent the last 2 years doing is talking about, thinking about, and now deciding that they're going to start renaming a bunch of racist birds. Now you may be thinking, racist birds? What makes a bird racist? Okay, I was being a little facetious. The birds themselves aren't racist, luckily for them. But if you look here, USA Today, dozens of birds, including ones named after white supremacists, are being renamed. Okay, so what's happening is they want to rename 70 to 80, they're saying 6 to 7% of all the bird species. Now, this is just North America, keep that in mind. I don't think other countries are really getting on board with like renaming birds because of racisms or whatever, but in North America and Canada, they want to rename 6 to 7% of all the bird species because, and we're talking about like the Lewis woodpecker or the Anna hummingbird. These are the names they want to change because Lewis whoever owned slaves or something like that, or they're slave owners. There are people with racist past. They're saying, I don't know. I haven't looked into every individual person. I guess they have. I guess that's what they think is worth spending their time on. So that got me thinking, well, if these people have so much responsibility with the bird species and conserving the birds, and they spent 2 years thinking about renaming the birds because somebody who named the bird 200 years ago was a racist, I'm thinking, like, are their priorities really straight here? So it got me looking into them. And this is a quick little history. They started in the 1800s. They merged with another bird watching group, and now they're the American Ornithological Society. So if you go to their website here, check out their mission statement. It says that they're devoted to advancing the scientific understanding of birds, enriching ornithology as a profession, and promoting a rigorous scientific basis for the conservation of birds. Okay, that sounds good. That's great. That one little paragraph. But when you really start exploring their website, this too was funny. All the results. As you see, all the results are getting lower and lower. But all their direction of success says increasing. It's steadily going down. But they put it's increasing the success. So that's a little weird to me too. But okay, look, goals and strategies. Here's their goals, and it's like promoting the role of science in conserving bird populations. That's great. Serving society at large. That's great. But then they get into this. Providing opportunities for ornithologists from diverse backgrounds. Okay, diverse backgrounds. Keep that in mind. We've been hearing a lot about diversity lately, right? So then you go down. Okay. They want to know your race and ethnicity. Okay, that's normal. That's normal, right? equity strategies. Equity. This is a very important word, people. Get used to this. Equity, you're going to be seeing it a lot more. Okay, so they review compensation data across the organization to identify disparities by race. We asked team members to identify racial disparities. We analyzed disaggregated data and root causes of race disparities. So this is all race. Race. So one little paragraph about birds and all this about race. That's kind of weird. So I thought, is there any way we can really see what these guys are doing? And there is. I'm going to show you. They have a little conference they do where people can join, just regular members of the public, bird watchers, and they discuss kind of their agenda. So let's take a look at that real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
So I'm a professional communicator, and talking about birds like Bachman sparrow are really challenging because it looks like another sparrow. Why should someone that doesn't think it's super cool care about this near threatened species, right? Well, if we could all get excited about, we have to do this community education aspect to this campaign for it's now the most awesome sparrow instead of a sparrow that represents a Lutheran pastor that talked about white supremacy, then that's really cool too. And maybe we can do really cool art and storytelling and get the community involved and talk about, again, the threats and conservation needs that birds have. Maybe we can talk about some of the stories and experiences that the bird community members that aren't represented today have with this bird and all of the other ones. I just think that it's exciting what our future could be, especially because I think the biggest opportunity is that this could be our chance to have a concrete statement, say the tendrils of all social justice have reached to the point of bird names, and we're going to do something about it. No, it won't end racism, it won't fix colonialism, but it's something that we can do right now today as our community. And the bird community is so big. The impact of this could be massive.
All right, enough of that. So you heard her. Social justice and the bird community, and what she said that really stood out to me was, once we get past the racist bird name because some pastor named the bird 200 years ago, then we can work on conservation. Then we can start addressing the issues affecting the birds. So you see this girl, her number one priority is the racist bird names. It's not helping the birds. It's not conservation. It's social justice, right? You see her eyes light up when she says it. That's what she's there for. She entered this group and this chat to do her social justice and to make changes in the bird community that's been doing things the same way they've been doing it for 200 years, probably longer. But it's these types that want to get in and just change everything because something bothered them or hurt their feelings. And look, I'm not saying that, anything should be segregated and you should be hurting people's feelings in the bird community. I saw an article, I was going to include it in this too. They're saying bird watching is racist. Just bird watching, okay? Because a lot of white people do it. So, this enters my realm of nature. That's why I'm touching on this today. But it just makes me think like, Mr. Beast, he's the biggest YouTuber in the world. He's got millions of dollars, but he's just the same as a racist bird when it comes to these types of people, right? They just want to attack. They want to change everything. And my biggest issue is if this is the group that's in charge of doing conservation work for the birds, and they're really just spending 2 years on renaming all the birds because some pastor named the bird or whatever their reasons are, that makes me think maybe we need to start really, looking into groups like this and changing who's at the head of the group. Right here, this group, it's Colleen Handel. That's her name. She's the one leading the charge into the changing all the bird names. So it's just something to think about. Do we want to change everything because of these people? It's like one person out of all these people. She's mad. She's upset. So we're going to change everything now. I'm not saying that's this instance exactly, but it seems to be happening in a lot of different realms. So these two stories grabbed my attention. to me, it kind of seemed like it's the same thing, right? They're all mad about the same stuff. So it's just something to think about. And I want to make sure these birds are getting the help they need, not criticizing them for what their names are, right? So let me know what you think. Tell us down in the comments, do you think they need to be worried about changing the bird names? Should they change them? If they're offensive, if one person is offended, if a million people are offended, should we change it? Do you think that's a good thing? And what about Mr. Beast? Do you think they're right to criticize him? Do you think he's monetizing kindness and he shouldn't do that? Or do you think it's a good thing that he's over there donating all his time, money, and effort, and he's putting a spotlight on the situation too, showing younger people and younger generations what the troubles that people have in other countries are. I usually don't like to give my opinion, but I think what he's doing is a great thing and they should leave him alone. But if you disagree, please let me know down in the comments. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Tune in tomorrow for another fun nature news video here at Nature's Reality 360. We're signing out for now, but we'll catch you on the next one. All right, later.